authentic pasta sauce.
Hey guys, I brought someone special in to cook this one. One of my two favorite Italian cooks. No, not Giada. Marilyn Garofalo.
This is a recipe my mother's mother always made it on Sundays, of course, you know, in the Italian tradition, and then my mother, and now I make it, and I think she likes my meatballs better than her own. So first we're going to start with a bread slurry, which is going to be a little bit of a filler for our meatball. We want it to be a nice dried out bread. Cut it up into cubes, put it in your bowl. You're going to add some milk to it and let it soak in. And you're going to add it till it gets to be a nice consistency. And you'll just take your fork and feel how it is. And you can tell that's not enough. You need to add probably all that milk in there because you want it to be nice. And then you're going to take an egg. Just mix it a little bit and add it to that. This is going to be the starter for your meatballs.
This is one of my favorite all-time eats. This sauce is layered with flavors and is absolutely delicious. I'd put this up against any pasta sauce recipe, including yours, Giada. Just make sure you check out part 2 to see how these meatballs layer and flavor into the sauce.
So you're going to mix that all up and you can see the consistency. It starts to come together and smashes down the bread and gets moist and gets to a nice flavor. And I like to put a lot of garlic in it. And I've chopped up a couple of nice big cloves of garlic, and you'll add that to it as well. So we mix all that in. I like to put a lot of flavor in my meatball because when it's cooking, it goes right into the sauce. So all the ingredients that you're incorporating in this meatball are going to develop when you put it into the sauce. So it will all come together beautifully. And you're going to want to add, I have pecorino romano. I like to use a little saltier cheese in my meatball. So I put some of that in, just a nice handful. And also you want to put in a nice 3 or 4 leaves of chopped basil, fresh out of the garden, and about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of parsley. That's another good flavor additive. I also keep out a piece of Parmesan Reggiano, a hard piece of the rind. I will add that to the sauce later because that also builds the flavors in the sauce. So you want to mix all of this together and you'll see the consistency is nice and soft. It has a lot of moisture. And then we're going to combine it in with our meat. I like to go to the butcher shop to get a good quality ground chuck. I like to use ground chuck in it because it has a lot of fat and flavor in it. And you can see how nice this is. And it's a nicer, he does it nice and dense. It's ground the day I buy it. And then I just break up pieces into this little bit of a slurry that I've made. And I'm going to start mixing it just a little. Do not overmix because you want your meatballs to stay nice and tender, and that's important, not to overmix it. So you can just see it's nice and delicate, and you've just incorporated everything in there. So when you want to make the meatballs, you kind of figure out when you put it in your hand how you're going to get the size that you want. And this is actually the size that I do. What I do is I don't roll it too much either, because what I do is I pan fry them tomorrow because I let them rest overnight because it makes sure meatballs taste even better. But I kind of tuck the bread in a little bit if it sticks out and just roll them together, and then I'm going to make 12 of them, and they're going to just be very rustic looking. And there you have it, 12 beautiful meatballs, and they smell delicious. So what we're going to do next is we're going to put them in a container, put a lid on it, put them in the refrigerator, and let them stay in there overnight. And start your sauce in the morning and let it cook all day. Till tomorrow.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out at Mike's Favorite Eats. And special thanks to Marilyn for sharing her old world traditional family recipe for pasta sauce. It's delicious. And if you want to watch part 2, you can click on the video in the upper left of your screen. And if you like what you saw and want to subscribe to the channel, click on my picture on the lower right of the screen. And until next time, ciao Bella.